Hello there. This video will be a 2022 guide to get all 10 artifacts on the island map as of Steam version 345, and I will be covering the artifacts in order of the difficulty of the bosses for whom the artifacts are needed. So first I will cover the artifacts for the Megapithecus, then the Broodmother, and finally the Dragon. I will be using a tech suit and entirely tech equipment which will help me cover this video much faster, and it will allow me to go through each of the caves and show you what all dangers are present there. I will also be using an Otter. The Otter allows me to carry multiple artifacts at the same time, and it will also provide me a lot of hypothermic and hyperthermic insulation by leveling up its melee damage. Now, I have covered all 10 of these artifacts before in separate videos using proper non-tech methods, and I have done those videos using gear that is present native to the island map, so you can check them out also. Now with that being said, let me start. The first artifact is the Artifact of the Brood, found in the caverns of Lost Faith, also called the Western Underwater Cave. It is situated on the western side of the island map, and let me show you where I am currently at. So we have the red obelisk over there on that side, and we have a bay over here, and overlooking this bay, in between this bay over here and my shack over here is this rocky outcropping, and just at the edge of this outcropping is the artifact entrance cave. Now, if you are wearing a full suit of armor as I have, a full suit of tech armor, and they all have element within it, then the underwater fog inside oceans and seas completely disappears and you can clearly see the entire part of the sea. Right, there is the entrance to the cave. If you are using a charged tech gauntlet, the latitude and longitude can be seen if you press the H key, which is currently at 53 by 10. Let me confirm. Here we are. So you can see it's exactly the same. You don't need a GPS for it. Now this is called the easy of the two underwater caves because the enemies that you find here are of normal levels. But you still encounter Mozas, Tusos, Plecies, and even rarely one possibly Alpha Moza or one Alpha Tuso. So I would recommend, there are two ways of doing this. You can either use a Basilosaur or a Tuso to clear out this cave, or what I usually do is I use a speed level Ichthyosaur, and the Ichthyosaur allows me to easily traverse through this cave, get the artifact and get out without much hassle. Now this cave, just like all of the other island caves, have a lot of explorer nodes and I will not be showing them in this video. So here is the artifact coordinate. Let's get the artifact and now we can safely exit the cave. So there are lots of YouTube videos which are showing where all places the explorer nodes are found, so you can have a look through them, or you can check the wiki. I will not be covering them in this video because I want to make this video as precise and short as possible. Now you will find that the cave is mostly empty right now. That is because, to make sure I can easily speedrun this part, I actually cleared out all of these dinos except a couple of them which have respawned, and I had used a Basilosaur for that. I did not encounter any alpha creature, but I did encounter two plesiosaurs. So here we are at the entrance of the cave. Let me show you where I'm currently at, the exact vertical location. So here we are currently at. So with that being said, I will see you in the next artifact. So stay tuned. The next artifact is the artifact of the Devourer found in the northeast cave, which itself is found in Carnivore Island. Let me give you a better visual representation of where we are. So we have Giga Mountain over there, the volcanoes over there, and that is the snow biome. This is the Carnivore Island, and this is a tiny little rocky outcropping, and there is an explorer node present in that part. So between that rocky island, this explorer node, we have the entrance to the cave over here. Let me show you where I am currently on at the map. We are here at 15 by 85.3, and there is our entrance. Now, the ideal mount for this cave would be the Baryonyx because it can jump, it has good firepower, and it can also navigate the underwater sections properly. Do not do this cave at night because megalos can actually spawn in the cave. So there is the artifact at 16 by 84.3, 16.15 by 84.6, and we are already out. You can take this winding path down if you want to actually reach the artifact. It's very safe and very easy. You just need to have a mount that can jump. So if you have a baryonyx, good. Otherwise, you can use saber-tooths, wolves, ravagers, and even gigantopithecus. It's a very easy cave. All you have to worry about are the dinos that are outside. So if you have any dinos with you, you should either cryopod it or you should keep it safe because enemies can actually come very near here and they can kill your dinos. Especially Alpha X's spawn in this part of the map. So with that being said, I'm going to now see you in the next video. So stay tuned. So the next artifact is the artifact of the pack found in the upper south cave. Let me show you where we are currently at the map. So we are located here at 68 by 56, and let me give you a better visual representation. So we have the green obelisk over there, that is Giga Mountain. These are the redwoods, the swamps, that is blue obelisk. This is the red obelisk. On that part you are going to get the southern islets. There will be the bay area over here, and hidden beneath all of these forests, if we drop down there, we're going to get the entrance to the upper south cave. So here is the entrance at 68 by 56. So let's go. Now I'm going to be using bug repellent for this cave, and initially let me turn up the gamma. So you're going to always use the right hand side. Always take the right hand turn. This is to ensure that in the initial part you're not going to get lost. So always take the right hand turn. And as you go, you're going to find this area with these shiny green crystals, and this is your way down. The best mount, and in reality the ideal mount for this cave, is the baryonyx because there is a substantial part of the cave which is underwater. Now we can either drop down there or take the scenic route which winds down and eventually goes down there. So let me come through this place. There are a whole ton of insects, especially arthropleuras and bats, and they can be a bit of a problem. I use bug repellents solely for these arthropleuras because they can wreck my armor. Now, other than arthropleuras, the most dangerous creature is the megalosaurus, and that is why you should always do this cave not at night, anytime before 21:30. One of the explorer dossiers are actually found here. It is the Lystrosaurus dossier. You also get the dossier for the mammoth as well as one of the explorer notes. Now when you come to this bend, take the right hand side again. So quick mental note, always take the right hand side. You're going to come here. Now when I did this particular artifact, when I made the artifact video with using the non-tech method, a pair of megalosauruses spawned over here, so be very careful. Now we can get another dossier over here, and now here is the underwater part. This part contains a lot of piranhas and sarcosuchuses, and the baryonyx is the perfect creature for this because it can stun lock these sarcos and ensure that they cannot harm you. A substantial part of this cave is underwater, so you have to be very careful. When you're using a baryonyx, you should use some kind of scuba gear with you. So you're going to take this path downwards, and this path is actually a very long downward path. So here we're going to come up. Then we're going to have to again go down. If you are ever confused, always go right. Again, go right. Now, what did I say? Go right. Don't follow this path, go right. Any underwater portion should be filled with sarcos and piranhas. This time you have to go left. This is the only time you have to go left. And thus you get the artifact over here, which is at 72.9 by 61. Let's take the artifact, and you don't need to go back out the same way. You can take a shortcut, which is this way. You have to be mindful of these arthropluras. Arthropluras actually take good headshot damage, so you can use that to your advantage. So you're going to use this way, and you're going to drop down into the water. Now this cave I had explored in my non-tech method, so if you want to see how this cave looks in its entirety, you can check out that video. Now I have already completed all 11 of the maps. Fjordur has not released yet, so I will be completing that after that. Now, instead of taking the right path, which I used to actually come down here, I'm going to be taking the other route, which is vertically up. And here, I can straight go up. It's a shortcut. If you have any flyer, if you are using say a Cinomacrops or some grappling hook, you can use this method. Now since you are at the very top, you're going to be always taking the left hand side. So always take left and you will not get lost. And by taking the left, you should come to the entrance, which is here. Thus we have already gotten the artifact and have reached the entrance. And now I'm going to be seeing you in the next video. So right now we have covered all the 3 artifacts for the Megapithecus. So from the next video I'm going to be showing you the artifacts for the Broodmother. So stay tuned. So the next artifact is the artifact of the Clever found in the central cave. Let me show you where I am currently at. So we are situated very close to the volcano, which is just behind me, and the artifact cave is there. We have the redwoods over there, the green obelisk, the Giga Mountain, and the snow biome on that side. So let's just drop down and see the exact GPS coordinates of the cave entrance, which is here. And here is the map. Now this cave has a lot of bugs and it can sometimes spawn megalosauruses. But in general, this is a very easy cave to actually deal with. Always hug the right hand side, and you should not get yourself lost. Always take the right hand path. The ideal mount for this cave would be a baryonyx, and if you don't have a baryonyx, then direwolf, sabertooth, or even the gigantopithecus will work. And there we have our artifact. It's at 39.6 by 45.89. Now, since we used the right hand side to come here, we are going to now take a left hand side clockwork pattern to go back to the top. It's that simple. As you can see, I am using bug repellent, which allows me to completely be ignored by all of the creatures in this cave. Of course, Megalosauruses will still be aggroed, but you need to do this cave in the morning or at noon when the Megalosauruses are sleeping. And thus we have come out of the cave, and I will see you for the next artifact. So the next artifact is the artifact of the hunter found in the lower south cave. We are currently situated just above the cave's entrance, and we are currently located in the southern islets. We have the red obelisk and the green obelisk and the redwoods over there. And let me show you where I am currently at the map, at this coordinate. So let's just fall down. Okay, so this is the entrance of the cave, and now we can go inside. Wait, now we can. As you can see, I have bug repellent on, which means that none of the insects in this cave will actually going to aggro onto me. It is a very straightforward cave, and you don't need to have too much uh, really good gear for this. A baryonyx or a gigantopithecus will be ideal for this cave. If you don't have either of them, a direwolf or a sabertooth will also work. Now from here, take the left hand side. You could jump down there, and that will be the shortcut to get the artifact, but I will show you the land way. So from here, we're going to come here, take these guys out, and here we have the artifact at 83.4 by 56. Did I even get the artifact? I did, and it respawned immediately. That was weird. So now we're going to take this shortcut over here and jump back safely. One thing to note, Pulmonoscorpius, even though you have a bug repellent, they will still come close to you to investigate thanks to their curiosity. But the moment they touch you, they're going to aggro onto you. So bug repellents mostly work to deter creatures like the bats, Arthropleura, and the onyx. But it does not work against the Titanoboa, which is a snake, or the Pulmonoscorpius, and there are also Sarcos, Megapiranhas, and rarely Megalosauruses in this cave. So that's it. We have another artifact, and I will see you in the next one. So the next artifact is the artifact of the massive found in the lava cave, and we are situated just above the entrance of the cave. Let me give you a better visual representation of where we are. So we have Herbivore Island over there, the green obelisk over here, and let me show you where we are currently at the map, at this coordinate. So the key thing to note about this cave is, it is very hot and you need to wear a full suit of ghillie armor and take a couple of water canteens with you. I'm going to be using bug repellent for this because this cave is swarming with bats. And let me turn up the gamma also. This cave will require you to jump a bit, so I would suggest you take a baryonyx or a wolf or a gigantopithecus or anything that allows you to jump. So I had made my megalosaurus trap here. Now I'm going to be using the right hand side. We're going to go up this path over here, and we're going to come up to the first jump. This jump can be easily done by a direwolf or a baryonyx. I would recommend the baryonyx because it is a very good mount to deal with the baddies here. Now, here you have to take another jump, but there is an alternate route. So, you can traverse through that route and you're going to encounter another couple of jumps, or you can use the scenic route over here. This is the longer route and I'm going to be using this route to come back up. I'll also explain why I'm taking the two different routes. So here, see this jump over here? This jump cannot be done by a baryonyx or a wolf. If you have a grappling hook, that should enable you to traverse this jump, but otherwise you cannot. So that is why you need to take the other route when you come back up. So now you're going to continuously take the right hand path. Always take the right hand path. Do not touch any of these bats. And there we have our artifact. Again you need to do a couple of jumps here, so baryonyx, wolf and gigantopithecus are ideal. The coordinates of the artifact is here, 67.1 by 86, and the temperature of the cave is 42. Now we are going to use the same path for the moment, but see these crystals? We took this path to come, but this time we are going to take this path, first, second and then the third path. This is the scenic route as I mentioned. We are going to get an explorer note over here and we are going to take this path up and go through that way. Notice that most of the creatures in this cave are bats and Dinos, and Dinos are not of any worries, and bats will not take aggro with the bug repellent on. Also note that since I have an otter which is leveled in melee, I have no problems with the heat of this cave. In fact, I am going to use the exact same otter for the snow cave, and you will see that I am not going to face any problems with insulation. And there, we are already at the entrance of the cave, and now we have covered all of the artifacts for the Megapithecus and the Broodmother. So the next artifact will be the artifacts for the dragon. So I'll see you guys in a bit. The next artifact is the artifact of the Cunning found in the caverns of Lost Hope, aka the East or Hard Underwater Cave. We are currently situated here, directly above the entrance of the cave and the east central side of the map. Let me give you a better visual representation. So we have Giga Mountain over here, there is Carnivore Island over there, that is Herbivore Island, this is the green obelisk, these are the swamps, and you could already see part of my base from here. So this is my island base, my end game island base, and you can check out the base tour video which I have made previously. Now I'm using a full suit of tech armor which will allow me to breathe underwater just like scuba. So this cave is called the hard water cave, and I would recommend you using a speed level ichthyosaur or a suit of tech armor to completely avoid all the enemies and avoid brute forcing it, because you will get all kinds of nasties here and they spawn in very high levels. So you can even have level 100 200 alpha mosasaurs. So if you want to brute force, you can use Basilos and Tusos, and I would not recommend Plesiosaurs and Mosasaurs because there is too many Nidarius, Tusoteuthis, and your those things. Right. So we are going to come to this alien pillar, and from the alien pillar, you're going to see a hole down here. You're going to use this hole to come here. We should see the artifact over there. We got the artifact. Here was the coordinate at 46.5 by 83.9. And now you can safely exit. Note that even though we got electrocuted by the Electrophorus, it still is not too much of a problem because it does not do that much damage. And now, and now we can safely sail out of this cave. If you have watched my video for this cave as well as the other west underwater cave plus the swamp cave, you will note that I generally prefer to not brute force if it's not required. So your objective is to get the artifact and run back safely. So you don't need to brute force at all. Now with that being said, let me show you the next artifact. So the next artifact is the artifact of the immune found in the swamp cave. We are currently situated directly above the swamp cave's entrance at this coordinate, and let me give you a better visual representation. So we have the volcano over there, that is the blue obelisk, there is the river beside the volcano leading up to the red obelisk, and the swamps covering the redwoods. Inside the redwoods we have this lake, and just close to the lake we have this location which is the entrance to the cave. Now the swamp cave is considered to be one of the hardest caves on the island map, and indeed one of the hardest caves across all of the maps. So what you need to do is this. Okay, right. So even a full suit of charged tech armor cannot protect you from the poisonous gases inside. So what you need to do is you need to wear a gas mask, and I would suggest that you take several gas masks because this cave has arthropluras and a single hit from an arthroplura might actually break the gas mask. If you are not using gas masks, I would recommend you taking 2 pieces of ghili for these slots and 3 pieces of scuba for these slots. I have a video in which I speed ran through this entire cave and got the artifact without taking any damage, and because I did no combat. You can check that out. You can check that video out in the description which I'll provide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gas mask on, put bug repellent, and then we're going to go. Combat is not a good idea for this cave because it's crawling with lots of enemies and they are of very high level. Note that they are level 300 400 life enemies, and most of the enemies are of insects and they will not aggro onto me if I'm wearing any sort of bug repellent. Now from here you have to take this side. This cave also has snakes, leeches, so you can harvest leech blood from them. This is the place where lots of leeches spawn. Leeches again will not take aggro because of the bug repellent. If you want to brute force this cave, I would recommend Bilzy Buffo or Frog. The frog is an excellent mount for harvesting lots of cementic paste from this cave. And there we have our artifact at this coordinate 62.1 by 39.5. There is a hole through here. This hole I believe is found in PC and consoles but not in Ark Mobile. And you can use this to actually take a shortcut and reach the first entry level chamber. From there you can easily go back out and exit the cave. So the recommended mounts for this cave are Bilzebufo if you don't want to use cryopods, or if you have cryopods I would say a Megatherium would be a very good mount. And that's how we complete the swamp cave. Very easy. And I will see you in the next artifact. The next artifact is the artifact of the Skylord found in the northwest snow cave, aka the Easy Snow Cave. We are currently situated close to the blue obelisk here, right above the entrance of the Skylord cave. Let me give you a better visual representation of where we are. So we have this snowy bay over here, we have Penguin Island over there, here is the blue obelisk, and there is the cave. So the Skylord artifact was bugged on single player and non-dedicated for close to like 5 years. Only in 2021 did the devs finally decided to incorporate a fix for this. So now on single player and non-dedicated, you can actually have this artifact spawn normally, and you don't need to turn off hibernation the way I did for my own Skylord artifact video. You can check that out. Now, in this for this particular cave, you cannot use any mount. I'm using an Otter for insulation because it's very cold. Here is the entrance coordinate. You would be ideally using a shotgun with some flashlight attachment. I would not be using my tech rifle because its splash damage might actually kill me. Now, I'm going to give you instructions on how you will not get lost in this cave. So initially you come to the main chamber. You're going to take the right hand side. Again, take the right hand side. You're going to ignore this part for now because this is going to be your exit. Now we are going to head to this side, and again take the right hand side. Alright. So this was that second entrance. We're not going to be using this one. We're going to be relying on this location. Take the right hand side again. You're going to see that place which is pulsating with energy along with this red light. This means that the artifact is present. Now you're going to go straight ahead and get the artifact. And there we have our artifact. because of this artifact, because of the artifact's hitbox, these uh, bugs are actually not being able to target us. So we can take this artifact over here. You don't actually need to jump down, by the way. Just check this out. You don't actually need to jump down. It is possible for this artifact to do this and we get our artifact. Let me first show you the coordinate of the artifact. So we are here 19.6 by 18.3. But if you would have jumped down, then you would have reached the other side. You have to take this jump and you would have come to this place. See that exact same entrance in which I was talking about. Now you can safely exit and take the left hand side. You reach the main entrance and there you are. Very simple to get artifact. So that's it for this artifact. I'm going to be seeing you in the last artifact, so stay tuned. So the final artifact we are going to collect on the island map is the artifact of the strong found in the infamous snow cave. We are currently situated just above the cave's entrance, located here. And let me give you a better visual representation. So we have the blue obelisk over here. We have a river that extends from the ocean coming through here. We have the volcano over here. There is a red and green obelisk. And there, if you want to triangulate that, we have the entrance over here. Right. This is the hardest cave on the island map. And I had made a video detailing which is the best mount you are going to use. So, if you are not going to be using a tech suit like I have, the best and most powerful mount for this cave is none other than the Utyranus. Yes, not a Thylacoleo or a Wolf or a Baryonyx or a Ravager or a Rex or an Allosaur, but a Utyranus. The Utyranus is the perfect mount for this cave because Utyranus's fear roar can actually make sure that the Parlovias which are burrowed inside the ground will actually unburrow themselves and stop themselves from actually dismounting you. Also, even if you are dismounted by a Parlovia, because the Utyranus is a very large predator, you are still going to be inside the Utyranus's saddle over at the top, so you will not die. Other than this, I would also recommend you carry an otter, and any otter that is leveled high up in melee like my otter over here is going to give me a lot of insulation. Let me show you my insulation right now. And this cave becomes very cold. It will be around minus 40-50 degrees. So I would suggest you take an otter for insulation and also for carrying multiple artifacts. Let me show you what this otter can do. And not just that, it can actually carry multiple artifacts of the same artifact type. Other than this, let's start. So, you're going to encounter a lot of really high level enemies in this cave. Enemies like polar parlovias, polar bears, which are basically alpha variant of normal bears, yetis, which are alpha variant of Gigantopithecus, uh, dire wolves, etc. Now these creatures are going to be around level 200, 300, even 400 category. So Utyranus is perfect for this cave because wait, let me tell you about this part. So Utyranus cannot jump, and if your Utyranus or any other creature falls in this water, they're actually going to take a bit of damage. So what I did was I constructed a metal bridge over here for my Utyranus to traverse through here. You can actually check out my Utyranus video, and that also happens to be the most popular video of my entire channel. It's over 2 years now, but that video is still the most relevant video for the snow cave, which I am very proud of. Here, you're going to require a pickaxe or a hatchet to clear out all of the crystals that are present here, which was not there because I had already previously cleared them out. Look at those mines. If I were to come close to those mines, those Barlovias, they are going to jump and they are going to stun me. So I'm going to take my time and avoid them. The only way to prevent yourself from these Barlovia bombs is to use the fear roar of Uranus. This section here is also very important because in general you can actually go from this side to that side without a problem with the Uranus. But when you try to come back up, then the Uranus will get stuck because this side is higher. So you compulsorily need to have a bridge made for this part. I'm going to lure these guys through here so that they don't bother me too much. Let them all fall. I don't want these Yetis to actually destroy my bridge. Alright, so we have lured all these guys out, so they should not bother us too much. Now we need to see what all dangers lie ahead. This place should again be full of and there you have the artifact over here at 29.8 by 26.5. So let's get the artifact. It is minus 30 degrees and you definitely need an otter. Let me tell you what happens if I don't have an otter. Let's take one of these guys out. Let's do this. Hypothermia already is setting in. The moment I come back up, then everything is good. I don't even need the full tech insulation. Now, look what happened. It jumped. It aggroed onto me, it jumped, but because of my tech suit's good speed, I was able to safely avoid it. And this is what happens if you are trying to be too fast. Thankfully, I brought myself Ascendant Tech Armor. At least it's a good demonstration. You would know what happens if you accidentally get hit by the Parlovias. So from here, we have to take this route over here. Let's lure these guys out to the water. All of them. Alright, nice. All of them are safely inside the freezing cold water. And even with the Uranus, if you are not over encumbered, you can safely sprint across and land here, which is what I did. And we have gone back to the entrance. It was that easy with a tech suit, an otter, and some understanding of how these caves and the Ark's AI works. So, right, we have now gotten all 10 artifacts on the island map. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and liked it, please drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.